Live from New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show. Today, things are hot, hot, hot on Wendy, starting with all of the steamiest hot topics. And we've got all this week's big headlines and even bigger opinions with Wendy's Hot Talk panel. Plus, see this summer's hottest new toys first. Perfect for kids big and small. Now, here's Wendy!
I'm doing great because it's the weekend. Let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. Thank you. I like that. Cute. Thank you. Breathe. What a week it's been. Oh. Thank you very much. So, no, I love you. I love you more. I love you more. Look, I've got something to tell you. This is very important. Attention, Robert Pattinson. We've all been young and loved, and we know how our hormones and emotions get swept away. But you, dear, are doing the wrong thing. Because most of us weren't your age and worth $100 million and in love. And engaged to a girl who, up until meeting you, was borrowing money from her father. Well, that's how it's going down. Okay. Okay. This is Twigs, Figs, Twigs, Figs, Figs, Twigs, FKA Twigs. That's her. And this is his girlfriend of 6 months. They never knew each other. They met for the first time in September. Next thing you know, they become engaged. Now, according to Star Magazine, he doesn't want a prenuptial agreement. Even though she was borrowing money from her father prior to the meeting. She's some sort of singer or something like that. I mean, I'm sure talented, but no money. Whereas he's worth this $100 million. But he's got old-fashioned values like, you know, I venture to say, I bet you there are a lot of people in Hollywood that aren't all crazy and wild like we read about in the magazines every week. There are plenty of people in Hollywood that I'm sure that are from good stock with good old-fashioned values, and they believe in love, and sometimes those are the people who are worth $100 million but meet somebody who's not worth anything, and they get married because they believe in the love. However, this is a huge mistake. I mean, this is big. You remember how you felt when you were young and in love and only knew somebody for 6 months? It's too soon to do anything except for be young and in love. Definitely not be engaged. And while he shouldn't think just with his heart, while I would like to believe that there are people around him to help guide him, I'm sure that most of the people around him are on his payroll. Or are not in a position to tell him what to do because he takes care of them. Like, I don't know whether his mom and dad are still alive or around or whatever, but perhaps his mother and father grew up or, you know, raised him humbly, so therefore he's paying for their, you know, McMansion, you know, and their Audi or something. And the manager, well, a manager is just somebody who takes a percentage unless the manager is cleaved unto you in some sort of way. So these people were probably telling him, you know, Robert, what are you doing? You only know this girl for 6 months and you're engaged. They're planning on getting married this summer, by the way. So this is, yes. And it's gonna be a small, low-key wedding, maybe in somebody's backyard. I don't know. You know, I'm surprised that he's not more jaded, given the success and experience that he's had in Hollywood, but it's kind of refreshing that he's not that jaded. You know, it's sweet to me, but Kristen Stewart, his ex-girlfriend, cheated, and we had receipts because I mean, it was a whole scandal. Remember with that married man and the married man's wife, his name was Liberty, and she ended up leaving him. So she wrecked the home and wrecked a relationship with Robert. Not that because you get cheated on, you're supposed to have a hardened heart for the rest of your life. I don't believe in that either, but your heart is not supposed to get this blind. So I wish them well. Unfortunately, I foresee a big Hot Topic story on this in approximately 6 months. Okay. Okay. And Scarlett Johansson, well, you know, she is married to a man, he's a French journalist. They live in Paris. Now, you remember what happened when Carrie moved to Paris? Sex in the City, people, Sex in the City. Okay, when Carrie moved to Paris following Mikhail Baryshnikov, do you remember? She, you know, when you move to a foreign country, sometimes you speak a piece of the language, or maybe you speak all the language, but the point is that it sounds fabulous and glamorous, and you're gonna make new friends. The problem is that, you know, Carrie wasn't able to make friends. You know, that she was not Parisian as she thought she was, and she longed for America. Do you remember? Yes. The only friend she made was that dog in the restaurant who ate her leftovers, right? Because she... You know, she would go out to eat by herself because she had no friends. As best I could tell, the best part about Paris for Carrie is that you were able to smoke in the restaurants, right? Remember, she stepped in the doggy-do with her good shoes and she had to wipe it off. And remember, her friends wanted to give her a party, but Baryshnikov told her, you can't go to the party, remember? And then she ended up coming back to America and breaking up with him. So we romanticize about living, you know, in foreign lands. However, much like Carrie, this is Scarlett Johansson. She hates it. She thought it was gonna be fabulous and glamorous. Well, you know, he's a journalist. He's not worth as much as she is, you know, but she does have enough money to be flying back and forth and still socializing here in this country. The problem is that now they have a little goober, and her name is Rose. So you can't be jet setting like that. Besides, even if they didn't have a baby, you can't jet set if you cleave unto another, you know? You know, you're supposed to be married. So she reportedly is so miserable, she's ready to leave, and her husband, Romain, wants her to stay. He looks mean, right? He looks like when he tells her no, she cries and goes in the bathroom. I don't, you know, this relationship is very lopsided, and I smell a divorce pending. And this is why. Well, what's he going to do? You can't stop a man from working because for most men, you know, their work and able to provide for their family in some way or another is defined in their manhood. Not all men, but most men. You know, and you could say, well, they could move to Hollywood and he could work for the LA Times or something. Well, that's a possibility, but does he look like he's trying to listen to that? Okay. He looks like he's trying to stay right there in Paris and he's trying to tell her, and you stay right here with me, woman. And if you try to take my kid with you, then I will do like the actress from the soap operas, what's her name?
Rutherford.
Kelly Rutherford. You know her story. Well, that's a whole nother story. I don't feel like going to. Google it. It's a whole nother story, but it's a disgusting story about she's American and he's foreign and he took the kids and now she's protesting in the courts and it's just a horrible, horrible situation. I can tell you what else in my mind I think that Scarlett misses. Scarlett misses the paparazzi. I think that a lot of these stars, particularly the A-list ones who are constantly used to being hounded, they say, wah, wah, wah. We don't like it. But the second it stops, I think that they miss it. And while, yeah. And, you know, I also think that in her mind, she quickly sees that even though she's A-list, we forget about her because we think about Charlize Theron and Jennifer Lawrence and some of those other cute A-list girls who, you know, they all remind me of the same person. Kind of, sort of. So if you take Scarlett out of the equation, I'm not thinking about her. And I'm the Hot Topics lady. I'm supposed to think about all of them. And I'm not thinking about her. That's all. For Pete's sake, Pete's, as in Holly Robinson Pete, you can't do this. Reality TV. It's a cute show, though, sounds like. Holly and her family, and they're all cute. You know, she's married to Rodney Peete, the former football star. Anyway, and they have their kids, and Holly's mom is 80 years old. Sidebar, Holly's mom used to manage George Clooney back in the day. Yeah. Anyway, Holly and her family are gonna be doing a reality show called, for Pete's sake, for the OWN network. Now, I'm sure that this show will be perfectly cute, it'll be perfectly wonderful, and perfectly boring. Well, here's my thought. And we talk about reality TV, and I tell you how I'm no longer into the ratchetness, but I'm also over the sweetness. Like, I'm sorry, I loved Run's House when it was on TV. The family was so cute. But that's because my kid was younger and it was a different time in reality TV. And also, we knew more about Run, the edgier side. You know, he's a rapper. And I don't know, but I don't even have tolerance for that cuteness anymore. Like, they still do stuff, the Run family on TV. Hi, Justine. I'm just saying, your family's, like, I moved past that too. And I tried to get with the Manzos over in Jersey. And I watched that for like 3 episodes or so, and I thought that I'd really like that show, but that was too cute and sappy. Like, I don't like too sappy, and I don't like too ratchet. I like right down the middle, like $1 Million Listing. I'll tell you what, I like, Leah Remini has a show, which got renewed for a 2nd season, but she's got an edge, and her family's got an edge, and the Peets are just sweet, and just sweet. I don't know about you, that doesn't work for me anymore. Clap if this sounds like a show you'd be interested in. Well, Oprah, you got yourself another stinker. All right, let's move along. I can't believe not one person said yes. I can't believe that. Okay, so William and Kate, who I love. I love them. I do not think that this guy will do to his wife what his father did to Diana regarding that Camilla woman. I think that they're perfect. And the idea that now they have not one, but 2 cute, I just think they're perfect, you know? So, but apparently, the new baby, Charlotte, is causing a royal feud. Well, the Queen Mother reportedly is fighting with Kate's mom, Carol, which is such a regular name. It's Carol with an E. Anyway, so apparently the Queen Mother is pissed because, sounds funny. She's upset because Carol got not 1, but 2 visits with baby Charlotte before the Queen Mother even got her first. But that's because the Queen Mother was occupied doing her royal duties. I guess maybe cutting the ribbon on a new mall or something. I don't know. Smashing a champagne bottle on a boat. I don't know. All I know is that if the Queen Mother's busy, then it's like the royal protocol. First of all, I wish that the real royals would be done away with, like the royals on TV on E. Like, they're going through that right now. They're gonna abolish the royals. That comes on, that's my Sunday night thing, you know, the royals. Anyway, look, so, okay. So here's my thought about the Queen Mother. First of all, am I the only one in the room who had the pleasure of knowing my great-great-grandmother? Clap if you knew your great-great-grandmother. My great-great-grandmother, Isadora, was a huge influence on my life. Now, I never had a grandmother. My grands all passed away, but my great-grandmother, she was a pisser. She used to tell me to hold my stomach in and keep it held in to, you know, strengthen. She didn't know strengthen the core, but she you know, she just hold your stomach in. And she used to make me boiled potatoes with no butter on account of my fat. Don't you worry, I got the purple chair. And look. And she used to give me coffee even when I was like 8 years old, like full Sanka. She drank Sanka. Full Sanka with cream from the can, you know, the thick stuff. And real sugar, not like sweet and low. And then she used to put that carpet sweeper in my hand and tell me to go exercise, and I'd be carpet sweeping. Anyway, but the thing is that, you know, the Queen is out of touch to think that a mother is not going to go see her daughter give birth, you know, and I am so Team Middleton on this, and respect to, you know, the Queen, but all day, every day, a daughter is more important than royal protocol. And what I love about William is that if William really cared about protocol, he would have married an aristocrat, not a commoner. What I love about him is that he fell for a commoner and is making his family get with the program. Yeah. Yeah, that's it with that. Oh. I hate when that happens. I hate that. I hate that. Look. Well, say goodbye to Lady Gaga as you know her. But for many of us, say goodbye to a Gaga that we can relate to more. She's decided to do away with this nonsense. And embrace her more glamorous side, and I think that this is terrific. In other words, this, ladies and gentlemen, is Stephanie. And, you know, I don't know whether she planned on doing this all along. In other words, shocking. She has a gorgeous voice. You know she does. And I've always thought that Lady Gaga is an odd beauty. You know, she's not a dead-on like a Giselle Bundchen or, you know, something like that. She's an odd beauty. And sometimes odd beauties are the best beauties because dead-on beauty is so common, it doesn't force you to squint and see the beauty in someone. And I feel, so I was asked, you know, in our Hot Topics meeting before the show, Wendy, do you think that her little monsters, that's what she calls her superfans, or they call themselves, do you think that the little monsters will abandon her now that she wants to embrace her glamorous side? And I said no, because you know what, the little monsters, see, Lady Gaga communicates deeply with her monsters. I mean, she embraces all kinds of social issues and embraces change, and her true fans know her for being beautiful on the inside. So whether she comes out in a meat dress or Chanel Couture, they love her. But I'll tell you what this does do. So in other words, she hasn't lost fans. The ones who love her. But I can tell you from my perspective as a grown-up, this makes me, the regular look makes me a bigger fan than I was. So and if you've ever heard her talk on Howard Stern or seen her interview with Perez Hilton and stuff, she's a really sweet girl. Madonna, take note. Just take note, that's all. So, Stephanie, Lady Gaga, whatever you want to call yourself, we still love you, and we know your beauty from inside, and I like this outfit better than a meat dress anyway. It's always dangerous when people never say never, except when you're a woman, because you're allowed to change your mind. I always feel like that's our prerogative. Anyway, Miley Cyrus vowed that she'd never have long hair again. Well, I think that Miley is beautiful. Her eyes are captivating and her smile is beautiful. And so she's one of those girls who looks great long or short. But with the help of some extensions, she did, you know, pop them in, you know, for one night. It's our hot shot of the day. Observe what she's laying in bed with. Hit it. Now, not for nothing, it does look like she just popped those in. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, you can see the, well, there's the bed. Yeah, up there at the top, you could see, like, where they're not blended, it's not blended, and they're just kind of thrown in there haphazardly. She's a beautiful girl, though. Now, show her laying on the bed with all of her extension collection. So funny. So funny. That's not a story, it's just something I wanted to show you. Miley Cyrus with the long or the short. Hey, it's Friday, clap! Yeah!